Hi, this is the crew from the People Versus, and we're about to show you an exclusive proof of concept from our short film. Enjoy.
It's more like an out-of-town tryout for a Broadway review than it is a military organization band these days.
Oh, fucking hell.
Go back to your mansion, bitch.
How is she ever an actor?
Liar or guilty.
The People Versus is set in a world where all trials are broadcast to the public and they're voted on by the viewers in their own home. We follow two adjudicators, which are the men tasked with monitoring the public opinion and tallying up the votes at the end. They're in the story, they're watching a trial which involves an actress who's been accused of attempting to murder her husband, and as the trial goes on, she finds that her side of the story is falling on increasingly deaf ears.
The thing that I really connected to about this script is that even though it's kind of a social analogy or metaphor, beneath that kind of structure there are characters that are living and breathing and kind of that have journeys and arcs, and it's not just kind of like a sterile kind of social comparison. Yes, it's set in the 60s, but it's very relevant to 2023.
The concept for the People Versus came to me around last year. I was watching the media coverage, and specifically the social media coverage around the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp trial, and I was interested in how people sort of seem to come to the trial with their own opinions already formed, and then they would recut footage of it and stuff like that to fit their biases. I began looking at things like The Twilight Zone and how that would use these sci-fi allegories to sort of engage with questions of the real world. I don't think there's ever been a better time to make a film like this and to ask these questions about how we decide as a culture and as a society who is guilty and who isn't, and who has the right to decide.
The script aside, the thing that really attracts me to this project from a producing standpoint is just how kind of not complicated but challenging it's going to be, because it's not set in 2023, it's set in 1965. It's like kind of the mise-en-scène and kind of the sets and the kind of production values that we're trying to create are very kind of not of this world, so we have to source a lot of the material, play around with a lot of lighting, and I think kind of trying to do it on a shoestring budget is going to be very kind of enriching cinematically. And the thing that really excites me is being able to work with the amazing crew that we're putting together. We've got a really terrific writer and director who has a very specific vision, which is, as a producer, much easier to execute than someone with a vague vision, because you know exactly what you need to do and where you need to go to get the film made the way it needs to be.
But I know Hamish, and I know like the kind of project that he works with, because we've been working before, and I really enjoyed that process. But ever since he mentioned the full idea to me, I go like, wow, yeah, that sounds really nice. I love film, black and white film. That was kind of my background. I started with that. So hopefully I could bring all that knowledge and kind of previous ideas that I used to have. And yeah, it's kind of like, it's very excited to, in a nostalgic way, I guess, coming back to my origin in terms of visuals. Like,
One thing I'm very excited for is to see the process, because I know eventually it's going to develop into a black and white picture. I know those always look very nice, and I know Hamish likes his black and white, so he's going to put a lot of effort into that and make sure that's as good as it can be. As first AD, I'm just going to make sure everything runs on time and we're not running over or we're not encountering any huge issues that can't be fixed.
As the film is a noir style, it will be a little bit difficult to find props and costuming that'll fit the aesthetic, but the amazing art department that's working with me, I think we'll be able to get by.
From a sound perspective, I'm definitely drawn in by the use of technology, because with it being kind of like a sort of vintage sci-fi, there's a lot of like playing around with what sort of sounds it might be making, like it might be whirring or buzzing or tinking, whatever tinking sounds like.
So yeah, if you'd like to donate to our crowdfunding, which we'd really appreciate, we have 6 tiers of rewards based on the amount. So for $10, that's tier 1, which is viewer, and for that you'll get a special thanks on all our social media pages. For $25, you'll get Tier 2, which is Announcer. For that, we'll give you a special thanks credit in the film itself, as well as an early private link so you can see it before anyone else in the world does. For $50, Tier 3 is Defendant, and for that, we'll give you an Associate Producer credit, which will be listed on IMDb and in the credits of the film itself. And you'll also get a poster from the world of the film, so you can hang it up on your wall. For $100, Tier 4 is Adjudicator, and for that, we'll give you the next level up, which is Executive Producer credit, as well as an exclusive short story from the world of the film, which will flesh out some of the characters, some of the concepts, and you can get a better insight than no one else will. For $250, you get Tier 5, which is Adjudicator Premium, and for that, you'll get a special invite to a screening of the film alongside the cast and crew, so you can talk to everyone, you can meet people. Yeah, it'll be really interesting. And finally, Tier 6, for those who really want to go the extra mile, for $500, you will get all of the above, as well as a making of booklet that will take you through the entire process of the film's production, from conception to post-production, and you get to see behind the scenes photos, early drafts, all that, and it should be really interesting if you're a fan of film and you're interested in how they come to be.
We're aiming to raise $3,600 in our campaign, and the money earned there will go towards creating a very tactile, livable world for the characters and just to create sort of full immersion in this ambitious environment that we've decided to set our film in. So the $3,600 will go towards costume, production design, props, just to kind of thoroughly recreate the 1960s.
Any donation is appreciated from the lowest tier to the highest. Every dollar counts.
So if you think this film would interest you, please visit our Indiegogo campaign page, and any donation, no matter how small or big, would be appreciated. Bigger is preferable. And you can help us create the best film possible.
We're really passionate about this film and we just want to make it as great as it can be with as many resources as we can get a hold of, so any help is really appreciated. If you'd like to support us, we've linked our Indiegogo page down below, as well as all of our other social media presences, so if you'd like to give us a follow or even donate some money if you can, we'd really appreciate that. Thank you for watching.